Cue us in.
Welcome to We Fucking Love TV. Come to our website, WEFKNLOVETV.com. Write that down.
Write it down.
I'm Josh, Nick, and Skinny Beard is our special guest again this week.
Yo ho, Skinny Beard is here. My feet stink.
All right, looking at the chart for the week of April 4th, and people are still watching NCIS and Dancing with the Stars and American Idol and American Idol and American Idol and The Big Bang Theory. And I caught some shit for talking about The Big Bang Theory, but hey, it sucks. Man,
People are stupid.
That's why we have a show, right?
And The Voice, Castle, Television Tony, he likes Castle. At least that's on the charts. Hey, Josh, nothing that we watch is in the top 25 here. I'm going to look again. Nope, nothing we talk about on this show in a positive fashion is in the top 25.
Let me see that.
You have to look at it.
Well, that makes you want to eat a box of razor blades.
Top 25. Oh, NCIS is number 1. You gotta ask yourself, are we missing something there?
And you may ask yourself, am I missing something there? You may say, this is not my beautiful television lineup I dreamt of.
Oh, NCIS LA is number 7. What are these shows?
These shows are the...
What is Unforgettable?
Is it on CBS? Everything. Let's count how many are on CBS just for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Just talking
8,
about this chart.
9, 10, 11, 12,
You should look at it.
13, 14 of the 25 are on CBS. Confirmed. Nobody ever changes their channel once they put it on Wheel of Fortune or whatever the hell it is. They just leave it on there all night. It's still got a tube in it. It's 13 inches. It's got the little turn dial thing.
This is dated. Number 4 is NCAA basketball.
I said April 4th.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure that...
Ooh, Once Upon a Time. I heard that's good.
Yeah, you heard wrong. I watched that crap. It's
Oh!
crap.
Oh! And we have another failure from the makers of Lost.
Yeah. Like Jennifer Goodwin's on there and she's Snow White and you're like, put a bikini on or get off the screen. Nobody loves her but me.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Jennifer Goodwin from Big Love.
Didn't watch it.
I'm not going to say the movie she's in.
Why
I'll
not?
be embarrassed.
Why not?
What is it called? 10 simple steps to... What is it? I don't know.
I love Jennifer Goodwin, but I don't think that's the same chick that you're talking about.
No, with a G.
You're talking about Jennifer Morrison, who played on House.
Nope.
Really?
Anyway.
Well, okay. There is Jennifer Goodwin and Jennifer Morrison. Never mind. Sorry. I love them both. She is hot. Even though she
Alright.
plays in every rom-com.
There's a Lost Art. It's a romantic comedy.
Lost. Hey, we never have done a Lost show, and we've got the perfect guy for Lost here.
Oh,
This
is that
guy,
right? Is that right?
This guy loved Lost more than the creators did. And then he was so disappointed he wrote like a 4-page blog about the ending of the show.
Indeed,
So
I did.
Jay, can you go back to that moment? We'll just make this the Lost episode. Let's all bitch about Lost.
Well,
This show's
alright.
been off the air for how long now? 2
Well,
years?
I don't remember when it ended.
2010, is that right?
I believe that's right.
2 years. May, I think, of 2010. I'm pretty sure.
Yep, you're right.
And I still, when I think about, even, listen to this. I heard the word walkabout in a show. I heard that word. To
No,
which
you
I
can't tell me
immediately-
what I can't
Don't
do.
tell me what I can't do.
Yeah.
I thought immediately of John Locke. And when we found out what a mind fuck it was when he was actually in a wheelchair. And when he got to the island, he wasn't in a wheelchair. And how in the end, none of that shit even mattered.
Nope.
It didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
It didn't matter, but it was such a mind-blowing experience, and you were just like, oh my god, this show is so amazing. And then,
The stuff they came up with was pretty impressive. Very imaginative.
and I loved the show, like, as soon as I started watching it, the moment I knew I absolutely loved the show, when, like, he'd been sending that tube up wherever from the bunker, and then they were just out walking in the forest, and then the tubes just spit out into a pile, and I was like, that's so damn genius. I don't even know what it means, but I was like, from that moment on, I had to watch every moment and rewind. What did he say? What did that one say? What did random person? What did Pablo say? Who gives a shit? But I had to know because it was all going to be so important.
They were the writers of that show show, they were really genius about the way they would just drop these little subtle details, and they made it seem like you had to keep up with every little detail to have a clue about what it all was gonna mean in the end. And like they kept on and just kept on building it and building it and building it. And I know that Damon Lindelof and what's his other guy, I don't know, I don't
and
care.
didn't they even say they knew how it was going to end?
They said they knew. They said they knew. And I'm going to say right now on the record, they're full of shit. They're like George Lucas going, I wrote all 3 of these at one sitting.
Nope. Nope.
No, you didn't, you stupid son of a bitch.
Well, let's leave Star Wars for another time and focus on Lost.
Yeah.
Which, okay, I just had a thought. Lost, the writers of Lost, it almost seemed like the first so many seasons, they were like trying to get this girl to have sex with them. She was like
Kate.
the girl of their dreams. They were like, oh my God.
And who
they would
want...
say anything. They would do anything. They would put on all the moves. They were putting on every move they had. They were trying every little trick they'd ever learned. And then when the sex was finally happening, it was all over. Well, that was the last season. They were like, I don't even give a fuck about this girl anymore.
Well, no, I mean, they perpetually kept that going, but the character Kate would always be apparently oblivious to having a heart. You know, she would just be like, I don't care about you.
Even, like, we sat around at your apartment watching episode 1 of the last season, and the sideways world presented itself. And, you know, in the final episode of the season before, what's her name had been like, it worked. What worked? And we thought about it all summer. We were just like, that was when I first got into it, and it worked was the last thing. So I was so ready for this season. I was going to watch it in real time. We'll say I was lucky not to have watched all 5-6 years of it in real time, because I probably would have just hung myself the night of the final episode. I can't imagine putting that much time into it.
Let me just tell you what you would have done. You wouldn't have been upset about the ending. You would have flipped a little switch in your brain that said, no, it's impossible for me to not like this. Flip.
See, and that's what I thought the first night, and then I watched it again 2 days later going, I need to watch that last episode again. And then I was like, really? This happened? I was like, really? Was Seth and Amy really lost? But we sat there and we watched the first episode of that final season, and they presented the sideways world, and I was like, if they can pull this off, this is going to be genius. Because there were so many possibilities. But I've always said, with Lost, it was like somewhere around the middle of the 3rd season, they had everything they were going to do up until the end of the show on a dry erase board, and the cleaning crew came in and erased the board one night, and nobody had a copy of it.
Yes.
And they came in Monday morning, and they're like, well, what happened to the board? Did you put that on the computer? Did you got a hard copy of this somewhere, right? Nope. Okay, what's the smoke monster? No idea.
Okay. Let me just say, they can tell you something in that, like, at the end, the writers, they say, we say to you, we even tell you in the final 10 minutes of that show that everything that happened really happened and it really meant something. I mean, they say it in that final 10 minutes. But just telling the audience that doesn't make it true, because what's transpiring is wiping the slate clean, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like pulling the religion trick. We say it's true because we say it's true.
Right.
Bling! And everybody just goes, oh, they're gobbling it up. Oh, the writers say, okay, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, if you think about it, where they went wrong was they had the opportunity to converge all those worlds at the end. Instead, they decided to erase all of them but one. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it pretty much made your whole time spent mean nothing in those final 10 minutes.
Well, there were several characters you spent a lot of time with. Like, was his name Nathaniel, that's in Justified now, that plays Dickie?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
his name on the show? Plays Dickie
Are you talking
Bennett.
about Desmond?
No, the little
Not
short
Disney.
black-haired guy that...
The guy that's the scientist, and he can travel time or whatever. Anyway, you spent so much time with him. You really did.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time with him, only to find out none of that mattered.
Not a bit.
And then, what's his name?
They should have, I tell you right now.
Blonde-haired kid's name that played the bass in the band. What was his name?
Not Penny's boat. That guy.
Yeah. What he drowned for. That was pivotal.
It really was. It was one of the most awesome episodes of the series. I don't know, man. Pisses
Was
me
Penny
off.
there at the end, too?
Yes.
Was
Probably.
she?
She's probably in the church. with
I don't
Desmond.
know. I don't know if she was.
Who
So
cares?
if she wasn't, does that make her whole fucking story invalid, or
Oh
I
man.
don't want to think about
I'll
it.
tell you what. Just
No, we have to think about it. 'cause
tweet
we're doing an episode.
tweet Damon Lindelof right now and ask him.
Yeah.
Hey, asshole, does that character matter? The answer's no.
Just feel like
But you know, what did everybody said from like the second season? Everybody was saying, oh, they're in purgatory, or there were so many theories about it. I mean, Lost had more theories than JFK assassination.
And they were really fun to read.
Yeah. And you're like, oh my God. But everybody centered on that they were in purgatory. Or something
Yeah.
like that. That's what the island was. And it was like the writers went, oh yeah, that's what it is. But they've already figured it out in the second season, and we got to keep this damn thing going. And they were so hell-bent at the end on making sure that wasn't what it was anymore, that they didn't know what to do.
They should have pulled their inspiration from the Stephen King series, The Dark Tower. Stephen King in that series does the most excellent job of creating all these alternate realities and having them all be connected by one single element. And at the end of the series, all those realities converge on each other. They actually start overlapping, and it all matters because at the end, when he gets there, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you if you're reading that series, but that's exactly what the creators of Lost should have done. Instead of just saying, we're going to find out a way to dupe the audience one final time and just come up with like this thing that nobody sees coming, because we've told them several times that nobody's going to be dead at the end. You know, they said that how many times? Everybody's really alive. Okay, well, so instead they just like made that be a big lie. What they should have done is they should have converged all those realities. Like they should have, the death of John Locke at the end should have somehow converged his other self or something. I don't know.
It seems like, and I could have just pulled this out of my ass just now, but it seems like I have read something, or I read something before it ended, that they were taking inspiration from the Dark Tower.
Well, Damon Lindelof loved the Dark Tower. He was supposed
Yeah.
to be making the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that fell through because I guess maybe Stephen King didn't like the Lost finale. I don't know.
Instead, we got Sky Cake.
Yeah. Whatever.
Sky Cake, you're so delicious.
Hey everybody, we're in the church. Let's go to heaven together.
Let's go to heaven with Jack and Kate.
Why don't they fucked her one last time each?
Oh,
They should have had like a giant orgy in the church. That would have pissed a lot of people off.
It should have. You know what should have happened? Like the church just blew up before they ever got to the white light. Oh man, one final, just like, what? Are you kidding me?
There's a nuclear warhead in the church.
That was the same one that she said it worked. She blew the church up. Of course.
Damon Lindelof's a god.
People are still going on about Lost, like we're doing right now. We're not the only three people talking about.
No.
There are people sitting in a living room right now drinking beer, talking about Lost.
Yeah, because they're watching it again.
Yeah.
Trying to figure something out they missed.
Yeah, and
Trying to validate their lives.
You didn't miss anything.
Nope, you didn't miss it. You're falling prey to one of the greatest wool pulling over the eyes.
Greatest tragedies in TV history.
Yeah, well, that's
basically.
definitely true.
How can you have all that money and all that time and still not pull out something somewhat satisfying? That all they did was pull out a satisfying moment for one night of television.
It seems to me like they played the odds coin at the end. We need to please the majority of our audience.
The thing is, you don't have to please anybody. When you are at that final episode,
If you
and
have
you're-
artistic integrity.
yeah, and you've sold tons of DVD sets already, and you're not going to produce any more of Lost for ABC, you don't have to please anybody. Do what you wanted to do. I kept thinking that whole time. I was like, oh my gosh, he's working on the wheel and all this. Oh my god, this is going to be amazing.
What wheel?
Turn the wheel and
Oh, yeah.
oh, it was so imperative that they did that.
You know, there should have been another alternate reality.
The end of Lost can be summed up in this.
The true
Yeah.
cock tease of the ultimate fashion. Yes, there is no climax for the
So if you've never watched Lost, we've not given anything away. We really haven't. And you want to watch Lost, just go to Wikipedia, read what happened, hit some highlights on YouTube, forget about it. You'll cry a little, you'll be mad, you'll fall in love with some characters, and then in the end you'll just be like, why did I do this to myself?
Or you can do my suggestion, which is watch the entire thing, and then at the 10-minute mark before the end of the finale, turn it off. and then you'll be like, "Ooh, that's pretty cool."
Yeah. That's
Nice.
100 hours of your life that's gone. And in the end of it, you'll feel just like we feel right now.
Yeah, so watch it, form your own opinion, and come on the show and talk to us about it.
Well, I just said don't watch it, so you just go with whoever you want to deal with there.
No, that's okay.
You trust Josh's opinion more, go with that.
I think it'd be interesting to talk to somebody who just started watching it.
It would be. We could basically would just be going, oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? So that's what you think.
What I love is to do is still talk to the people who defend it to the teeth, but just because,
I know there were people out there that do that.
I mean, I know several of them. It's just because they were so invested in it, they can't accept.
Weren't we all though? Really?
Yes. You see, but I think something triggered in my mind when I realized that George Lucas made piles of crap. That triggered something in my mind that, oh yes, I can't delude myself into believing that people that I love can't make mistakes. So when I saw the finale of Lost, I already had that mindset. Didn't let me fall for it, basically.
Well, that's good.
So there is that.
Like I said, it got me on the second viewing. If one was on TV and it was just a random one, it wasn't a marathon, I might sit and watch it. But I could never bring myself to go through that whole series again. Could never do it.
No.
By the way, Skinny Beard here got me into that show. Made sure I had every episode in a timely manner because he wanted me to love it, and I did love it. And then I just hated him for it.
You guys are still friends. How's that possible?
You can't blame me, man.
We made it through thick and thin.
We were both there.
We'll be old men bitching about movies. Certain of it.
Yeah, all right. Another positive show that we can talk about is Louie.
Yeah.
A great comedy, that is. Let's just say that Louis C.K., probably the most appreciated. If you're into stand-up comedy, you should know who he is. But if you're not into stand-up comedy and you don't know who he is, you're still probably going to like the show. And I think that says something about maybe his level of genius or something.
It's his ability to make things that we're thinking into a narrative. I mean, even on stage, he says things that men are thinking,
Yeah.
but we can't say. Even like if we're completely drunk and out of our minds, we probably would still, something would stop us in our brain from saying the shit that he says. But I mean, it's so real, and he makes that show so real. Even when he does certain heightened reality episodes where things like obviously aren't going to happen, he does that in a way where that's what it feels like. He's showing you that this is what it feels like for this to happen, not necessarily this would actually happen.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that with his show.
Well, so I guess kind of unique about it, even though it seems to me like he borrows from the formula of Seinfeld in that he's a stand-up comic and he has bits of his show, his routines interspliced between the segments of the show, which is pretty much directly what Seinfeld did.
Right.
Well,
In the beginning, anyway.
Yeah.
First 2 or 3 seasons.
But he takes that motif and then he makes it into something that is like you've never seen before, like these real situations, complete awkwardness, and then I mean, if you think you feel awkward watching The Office occasionally, you haven't felt awkward yet.
Louis really bad.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
But as I said before, I think he oversteps his bounds a little bit sometimes creatively because he does like the whole thing himself. He directs it, he writes it, and he edits it himself. And never being exposed to doing that sort of thing before, I guess you could try to do things and maybe not really get it on your first try. Like the episode that he does where he goes overseas to do the Iraq thing or whatever, that whole episode felt off to me, like edited or something. It just didn't really feel like a entertainment. It felt more like a documentary or something.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, those moments that he tried to put in there of the awkwardness that comes from everything else, they just felt more staged somehow.
But most of the time, the awkwardness really does pay off.
Yeah.
And I actually, when you said awkward, I thought of one scene in particular, and it kind of goes with what I was saying about things you think about but you won't say or whatever. With, you know, he was talking, there's this one where I can't remember if he gets on Facebook or he does something and he looks up this old girlfriend he remembered showing his dick to.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he's like all gung-ho, he's going to go see her and everything. They wind up having sex on the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
And the look on their faces and the way it's edited and the way you as a viewer feel must be exactly what that feels like to do that. when you're just slumming in the past and you're doing something just for nostalgia purposes or just because you think that's an easy lay. I mean, he put that across in such a way where you're like, I would never do this. I'm never gonna go. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, the way he put it across on screen, he kind of did it for you. Even if you wind up single again or anything like that, where you're just like, I'm not gonna go slumming in the Facebook for past romances or anything like that.
Gosh.
But I thought that episode was great. But there's so many of them. There's so many of them that feature Pamela
The one from
Adlon.
Californication.
The woman he's in love with that has
Yeah,
a child, and they're
yeah.
always together. I mean, love the episode where she offered to take a bath with him and he totally missed it by turning a series of
I would do that.
questions down.
That would be me.
And
I'm
as
smooth
a viewer, I totally caught it. And I'm like, didn't she say you want to take a bath? And he's down there, he's on the street, he's walking home, and he's like, no! Hey, did you just ask everyone to take a bath? I was just like, oh my god.
She's like, you blew it, buddy.
Yep. I mean, he had spent the entire day trying to persuade her to go out with him or sleep with him or something. And
And
so
like
good.
those little eccentric moments that he puts in there. Like, did you see the episode where he looks outside and he sees a homeless man standing on the curb and a black car, like you would see like the Secret Service drive, pulls up. These dudes step out, they grab him, they shove him in the car, and they put another crazy homeless man
Yeah, I
in the
remember
same
that.
spot, and they drive off.
I remember that.
That was pure genius. One of the you can't even like say how great that moment is. How did he think of that? I have no idea.
there was a good moment, a little off the subject here, but on that Betty White show, Off Their Rockers, I gave that a 1 episode trial. Probably won't come back for it, but where old people go out and try to, do pranks on young people. And they were at a crosswalk, and this guy was sitting there with like the blind sunglasses on and the cane and the cup and a little sign, and some guy came up to him and he said, "Hey buddy, you're off shift, I'll take over." He put some glasses on, he's got the cane.
It feels like the man stole that from them.
Yeah,
don't
I think
know.
so.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, like, could there be a more deserving person of success than Louis C.K.?
Yeah, and
No
he
way.
has been in the business for years. I mean, he did the whole in the suit thing, telling somewhat clean, predictable jokes, and then he broke
And you used
away
to
from
write
that.
for like Chris Rock and all that crap.
I'd say it's possible. There's a lot of them that are kind of in a little club together. They all support each other and they're all friends. Like Jerry Seinfeld, Louis, Chris Rock. What's his name? Starts with a C. They used to be on Saturday Night Live. Did Weekend Update.
Colin Quinn.
Colin Quinn.
Didn't Louis
You know,
just?
if you've ever seen the Jerry Seinfeld documentary, Comedian, it's really good. I highly recommend
seen
it.
it.
Even if you don't like Seinfeld, it's really good because a lot of those comedians are on it, and you don't see so much of it. The act he's trying to put together, as you see the behind the stuffs with him talking to the other comedians and them talking about what works for them, and I mean they're just sitting at the bar talking, and there's just a small camera there filming these guys just having a conversation, and it's just awesome to see. It's the stuff you don't see.
Yeah,
Louis
it is.
C.K.'s even in it, I believe.
I think so. It's
It was like that one scene I think in the first season of Louis where him and Jim Norton and everybody was sitting around in the bar and they were talking about that one gay comedian. I forgot what his name was.
Yeah.
They were talking about being gay and all that stuff.
And I mean
That
that's
was hilarious.
that's what they do in that documentary. It's that's obviously what they do. If there are a few of them there, they'll get off stage and they'll talk about where you went wrong or what you did right, and that's the hardest thing. And then they'll talk about old times or whatever. It's really really interesting to watch.
The latest comedy special he did where he put it out himself online and had people pay what was it, $5
Yeah,
to see an hour and a half long routine. I mean,
and own it.
yeah. And then it was such a success. He made over $1 million doing it, and he gave half of it away, half that money. I mean, is this guy real? I don't know.
I know, right?
Yeah,
That was ridiculous.
right.
I bought that fucking thing. I know
I
that.
did too.
I did too.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
There's $15 you got from us, Louis.
Aziz Ansari did that, and Jim Gaffigan just did that also.
Oh, nice. So he's like already like, I mean,
Yeah, Jim
a
Gaffigan's in
pioneer.
the five
changing
things.
the
Jim
face of
Gaffigan's
comedy.
his $5 thing came out early this month. It's pretty good. I don't like the ending of the show, but it's pretty good.
He's I love his style of comedy.
I hope that Zach Galifianakis comes back and does some comedy like that because he was a genius too. I think.
Have you ever watched the little things he does between two ferns online?
No.
You've got to look those up. He'll interview celebrities. So funny.
Okay.
Between two ferns.
Between two ferns. That way I'll
Two
look
thumbs
that
up for me.
Okay.
I never heard of it.
Check it out.
Chiggy.
Let's wrap this up. Hey, Skinny Beard, thanks for being on our show again.
Yeah, don't you have a blog or something that you want to plug or anything?
Promote anything you want to promote.
I used to have a blog, but I took it down.
Do you want to promote anything at all?
I don't really have anything to promote.
All right.
Okay. So watch Louie and watch Lost if you dare.
And I say do whatever you want.
Do whatever pleases you.
All right, so thanks for stopping in with us again.
Yes, come to our website, wefuckinglovetv.com, and go fuck yourself.